The Dyatlov Pass mystery. In the frozen wilderness of Russia's Ural Mountains lies a mystery that refuses to rest. It's February 1959. 9 experienced Soviet hikers, young, skilled, and in peak condition, embark on an expedition through the northern Urals, aiming to reach Mount Odertin. Led by Igor Dyatlov, the group pitches a tent on the slope of a mountain named Kolatsyakol. In the local Mansi language, it means dead mountain. They never return. Weeks later, their bodies are found scattered across the snow, some barefoot, some with strange injuries, some with no apparent cause of death at all. A tent torn open from the inside, footprints walking away into the trees, a fire built under a cedar, broken branches 5 meters high, and down in a ravine, bodies with broken ribs, crushed skulls, and one hiker missing her eyes and tongue. So what happened? Let's look at 4 leading theories. Theory 1, the avalanche theory. This is the official explanation offered by Russian authorities in 2020. A slab of compact snow, destabilized by the hikers' own excavation of the slope, collapses hours later. It crushes some of them in the tent. In panic, the group flees half-dressed into the freezing night. Some die of exposure, others succumb to injuries. It explains the trauma for some of the party, but it struggles with key facts. The tent was still standing, the footprints were undisturbed, and the most severe injuries occurred furthest from the tent, not at the supposed avalanche site. Theory 2, infrasound phenomenon. Could sound alone have so disoriented the group? Some scientists suggest wind hitting the mountain created a phenomenon of low-frequency vibrations, infrasound, capable of inducing panic, fear, and hallucinations. The hikers might have fled in irrational terror, only to die in the cold. It's a fascinating idea, but it doesn't explain the physical trauma or why some appeared to regain composure and try to return to the tent. Theory 3, military testing or blast trauma. Others point to classified Soviet military activity in the area. Some of the clothing contained traces of radiation, and there are reports that bodies had orange discoloration and some had white hair. Strange glowing lights were seen in the sky by nearby hikers. Could the group have been caught in the path of a parachute mine, missile test, or concussive blast? That might explain the massive internal injuries, like car crash force, with no external wounds. But this theory also has holes. Where's the debris? Why such a strange and mysterious cover-up? Why did no one come forward? Theory 4, the Alma, Russia's wild man. This one veers into legend, but remains compelling. The Mansi people speak of the Menk, a giant, forest-dwelling wild man. Westerners call it the Yeti, or Sasquatch. In some versions of the story, a note was found on the hiker's tent. The wild man lives. No such note appears in the official record, but cutting out of the tent, splintering into the forest, climbing trees, and ultimately facing violent trauma, matches a scenario of primal fear and sudden confrontation. There's no proof of the Menk, but if something was out there, the hikers may have seen it. A pattern of secrecy? Theories abound with some combination of natural, supernatural, and the Soviet government's involvement. After the bodies were found, the area was quietly sealed off. Mansi villagers were harshly interrogated. Files were quickly classified. Some documents, including photographs and investigation notes, would remain unreleased for decades. Portions are still missing today. The case was closed with a cryptic phrase, a compelling natural force. It looked and smelled like a cover-up. But for what reason? An avalanche didn't need a cover-up, but many of the other theories may have. Even Yuri Yudin, the lone surviving member of the expedition who turned back due to illness, would later say, "If I had the chance to ask God just one question, it would be, what really happened to my friends that night?" Despite modern explanations, the Dyatlov Pass incident remains deeply mysterious. Some say that it was just snow, fear, and tragedy. But the strange circumstances and the many anomalies all resist easy answers. In the years that followed, more questions were raised than answered. Family members were discouraged from speaking out. Those close to the case whispered of quiet threats, unexplained pressure, various odd details, and missing files. And so today, the Dyatlov Pass remains frozen in both time and truth, a place where evidence vanished, answers were buried, and silence became part of the mystery. One thing is clear: something happened on that mountain, and whatever it was, they never stood a chance. If you enjoyed this video, please like or subscribe to watch more stories of overlooked and mysterious events.